Hello everyone, welcome back to the UPSC Mains PYQ series, and today we shall be discussing the question of human geography from UPSC Mains 2025 question paper. So let's start. Our question is, what are non-farm primary activities? This is the first part. Second, how are these activities related to physiographic features in India? And we have to substantiate with examples. Okay. So see, here all the parts are given clearly. What all parts you have to address. You don't have to think about the dimensions. So let's start addressing all the parts. This is the first one. This is the second one. Okay. So first of all, you must know what are non-farm primary activities. Then only you can relate them with physiographic features, right? So non-farm, first of all, what are primary activities? All those activities which are directly related to the extraction of natural resources, they are called primary activities. Now the question is on non-farm. So leave all the agricultural crop related activities. So they become the non-farm activities. For example, forestry, fishery, animal rearing, these all related to non-farm primary activities. Now the second part is how these activities are related to physiographic features. So now what are physiographic features? You must know, right? So physiographic features are the natural features, natural landforms on the earth's surface. Okay. So they can be the mountains, they can be the valleys, they can be the coastal regions. These are the physiographic features. So see, here UPSC has combined the concept of physical geography and human geography. Because you are learning separately, these are the physiographic features. You are learning separately in which regions of India, which kind of economic activities are followed. Now you have to combine them, that how these activities are directly dependent on the natural features. Okay. So we have discussed what are non-farm primary activities. Now in the body, we have to establish the relation. Okay. So see, the easiest way is, first of all, you must know what all are the physiographic features. So this is the map of India. These all are the physiographic features. Let's start with each physiographic feature. First one is the northern plains. So in northern plains, first of all, you have to count what all features are present. In northern plains, there is no huge amount of groundwater resources. Okay. In northern plains, various rivers are there, so huge amount of sand will be present there. If many rivers are there, then fisheries sector will be strong there. So what I am doing here, I am relating the natural features with the economic activities. So if large amount of sand is there, sand mining will be there. If large amount of fisheries will be there, then fishery sector will be there. And if groundwater resources are very good, then the agricultural productivity will be good. And if productivity will be good, it will lead to good fodder production. And good fodder production will lead to animal rearing practices. So we have related natural resources to the economic activities, right? Now, we are done with northern plains. Now, let's come to the plateau region. So, plateau region, various plateau regions you can discuss. You can discuss Telangana plateau, you can discuss the Karnataka plateau region, you can discuss Chota Nagpur plateau region. So, basically, the main thing in the plateau region is they are rich in mineral resources. Okay, like the iron ore, like the coal, like the bauxite ore. So, basically, they are rich in mineral resources, right? So, done with the plateau region. Now, coming to the mountainous regions. In mountainous regions, what are the main resources? See here, many type of trees can be found. So, timber industry can be strong here. Okay. And as you know, various medicinal plants can be found in northwestern Himalayas and eastern Himalayas. So, medicinal industries you can talk about. Also, in these regions, animal rearing practices are very high. Why they are very high? Because see, soil is not that much productive, so agriculture can't be done. Not many rivers are there, so fisheries can't be done. Okay, some of the animals can survive here. That's why animal rearing is strong here. So we will go with animal rearing also. Okay, so done with the mountainous regions also. Coming to the Great Indian Desert. Great Indian Desert means covering the regions of Rajasthan and Gujarat. So see, first of all, I will say because of the high temperature and moisture, these regions will give rise to salt production, right? See, in Rajasthan, as you know, there are various inland lakes. So see, inland lakes are there, moisture is there and temperature is very high. Eventually, the water will evaporate and it will lead to the production of salt, right? Same thing is happening in the Gujarat area. It is coastal region, moisture is there, but temperature is also very high. The region is arid, it will lead to the production of salt. Okay, so we are done with the Great Indian Desert also. What we have done here? We have related the natural features with the economic feature. What are natural features? High temperature, availability of moisture. So what will be the economic feature? Salt production. Okay, so salt can be edible salt also and mineral salts also. So we are done with this also. Coming to the coastal plains. Coastal plains and islands I will combine. So see, in coastal region, the very important activity is the fishery sector, as you know. Okay, and pearl farming is also very common, especially in the regions of Tamil Nadu. Third, you can say that in coastal plains, crude oil production can be done. Why? Because oil is found in the synclines of the sedimentary deposits, and these sedimentary deposits are everywhere available in the coastal region. Okay, so we have related all the geographic feature with the economic activity in that region. Okay, so now I have explained in short that what all you have to write. Now please pause the video for 7 minutes, write your answer, then we shall be discussing the detailed answer. Okay, so let's discuss. So what are non-farm primary activities? Apart from agriculture, all those activities which are dependent on the extraction of natural resources. So they will be fishing, quarrying, animal rearing, forestry, etc. Simple definition. Now coming to the body part. So we have to relate those activities to the physiographic features. So see, first activity is the fishery. Coastline of India. Okay. So coastline of India and inland fisheries, because various rivers are also there, no, like Ganga, Godavari, Brahmaputra. So coastal fishing and inland fishing, dependent on the physiographic features. Coming to the forestry. So forestry, we have already discussed about the timber resources of Himalayas and Northeast India because of the dense evergreen forest, right? And in the regions of Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, various forests are there. So, and non-timber forest produce is also very rich in the central India, like the Tedu leaves are there. Now, coming to mining and quarrying part. So, as we have already discussed that Peninsula Plateau is very rich in mineral resources. Why? Because of the presence of the old crystalline rocks. Okay, and coming to the Aravalli Hills, so marble quarrying is very rich there. The reason for this, the physical reason for this is that Aravalli Hills were formed by the accumulation of sediments, and over a period of time, those sediments got suppressed under high heat and high pressure. So because of this, metamorphic rocks were formed. And as a result, marble quarrying is easily done in Aravalli Hills. Now coming to the crude oil extraction. So as we have already discussed, the coastal regions of India are very rich in crude oil, especially Mumbai High, Krishna Godavari Basin and Kaveri Deltas. Okay. Now coming to the salt production, we have already discussed the Gujarat's extensive coastline and Rajasthan area. So especially in the Samar Lake, edible salt is produced, right? So why these things are happening? Because of high temperature, aridity and moisture. Now coming to the animal rearing. So in animal rearing, in the Rajasthan and Gujarat, the animals which can survive, like the camel, goat. So here rearing can be done. See, here agriculture can't be done, here fisheries can't be done. Okay, so animal rearing is very logical option here. Now coming to the alluvial plains, so as we have already discussed that fodder production is very good there. So animal rearing is a very profitable option. So dairy farming is also practiced in these regions. Now coming to the mountainous areas, so here same thing, not every activity is possible here. So animal rearing is one of the options. So for example, sheep, pashmina goat can easily be reared in these regions. So now we have to write about the conclusion. So non-farm primary, for this topic, non-farm primary activities, you can conclude with various initiatives of government, or if you don't have any idea of those initiatives, you can easily write their significance. That these activities help in the income diversification, they help to fight against the impact of climate change, they help to ensure climate resilience, and these all things. So employment, eradication of poverty, you can link these all topics with this topic. Okay, so I think that's all for this topic. Thank you.